Okay, hello. Welcome back to Mia's Tarot. This is my last reading on the Aaliyah situation. This is just basically about who could have basically orchestrated this situation. I'm not going to use names. I'm just going to say male, female. I don't know everybody involved with her career or anything like that. Um, but I will help shed some light on the situation. So I pulled out all my cards as our court cards with people, so we could kind of see if there's anybody specifically, or a woman or a male, that could have been involved in the planning of this plane crashing, Aaliyah's death in general. Um, this is just to shed light on the situation, uh, because people want to know, including me. So let's see. Who was involved? I'm going to pull 3 cards to see exactly, as far as Aaliyah's death, who could have been involved. Who could have been involved? Who could have been involved? Who could have been involved? Mixed all these cards around. Who could have been involved in the planning of this? As far as Aaliyah passing away. I feel like it was up to 3 people, so we're going to see. Now, this is going to be the why. The cards right here are going to be the why. Why for these people. Why? And this is going to be how Aaliyah viewed these people. How did Aaliyah view these people? Turn reverse. How did she view these people? How did she view these people? Okay, so the first card was the King of Pentacles. This is a businessman, and this is somebody who was losing money. This is also an earth sign. And this is somebody who was losing money. This was somebody who was money hungry. Okay? The reason why, I'm taking my time because, like, just in case something comes to me, I don't miss it. How she viewed him, addict. So, compromise integrity and honesty allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. This could have been a man who, this man could have been on drugs or taking drugs. You know how they look great in a suit. I don't know, is there a Capricorn, another Capricorn around her? Or was there another Capricorn around her? Because sometimes Capricorns, no shade, they work so hard and they internalize a lot of their issues, and so they start using drugs. Drugs was bigger back in that time anyway. Well, it was like drugs was big, then selling drugs was big. So, of course, taking them are going to be big too. And I feel like this person was on some type of drugs. Like, they were doing some type of drugs. I don't know, like cocaine or something. She, because it says compromise integrity and honesty. So she knew that this person wasn't an honest person. She knew he wasn't honest. She seen him as an addict. In reverse. So she seen him as an addict. So if he was like on cocaine or something crazy, doing some type of drug, she knew that he did them. And she knew that, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah. She knew that he did drugs, and she also knew that he wasn't honest. He wasn't an honest person. Why? He was upset over something. This guy was in his emotions. He was upset over something. So if he had anything to do with her death, and this is all allegedly, I'm just saying, this is basically what I'm getting. If he had anything to do with her death, he was upset. He had some type of emotional connection. I'm not saying that it was to her per se, but he was upset. He was in his feelings. He was in his feelings. He really was. So his whole motive was definitely because he was in his feelings. But this is a businessman. He's all about business. He's all about work. And he came up in reverse, so you know he ain't right. The next person. Queen of Wands, a woman. There is a woman who knows, a woman who also did not like her. You see how these people coming up in reverse? Hopefully the next one will come up upright. And then we'd be like, okay, they might not have had nothing to do. There's a woman who knows. Did not like her for some reason. Did not care for her. She knows. How did Aaliyah see this person? Networker. So she was in the circle. This is a person enhances unity through sharing of information, social awareness, and empathy. So this woman actually played a good role in Aaliyah's face. Like kind of where she was, she see Aaliyah, hug her, how are you, how's things been? A networker is not the person that's trying to be like super, super close to you. They're just in your circle. How you been, how you doing? So not saying that that she was involved. It's just I feel like these are the people who knew something about it. I'm not saying they orchestrated, they planned it. Use your imagination. Okay. So this was a networker. So she seen this person, she viewed this person right here as somebody that she seen, at the meetings, out at the little mixers or whatever they would have. Why? Jealousy. This person knew that she was pregnant as well. Jealousy. I mean, the Empress is the highest woman in the deck. Come on. This woman didn't like her because she was jealous. Freaking jealous. This woman didn't feel like she was as creative, as pretty, as talented. Next person we have, I'm not going to make this video really long. I'm just going to conclude this segment because I got to edit so many videos and send them out to people. Another woman. Why was women acting like this? And it's women that's older than her. So it's not like women her age. It's women that's older than her. This is somebody who was going to lose money behind the situation. These are people who knew. There's somebody who was going to lose money. Could have been a mom already. But she was going to lose money. Her, I don't feel like she had kids yet. I don't even feel like she was that much older than Aaliyah. I feel like this one was older. But this one wasn't that much older than Aaliyah. I feel like she was older, but not that much older. She had like a youthful look to her. This woman was probably older and already had kids. Or a kid. It felt like she was going to, lose money. Why? Knight of Swords. It's almost like her and this Aaliyah and this person had words. They had words, This person could have confronted Aaliyah on a couple things. I'll clarify the Knight of Swords. Yeah. I don't know if this woman had anything to do with her planning, but I do feel like she covered up a lot of things to protect herself. She had to protect herself. She had to protect herself. And I feel like she might have talked to Aaliyah, but Aaliyah didn't listen to her. You know? Because here it's like she's on guard. Here she's no longer on guard. She felt like she had to like protect herself. And I don't feel like Aaliyah listened to her. I don't feel like this one knew Aaliyah as much. Like she seen her around and she knew of her. But this one did. This one did. And she had words with her. And she talked to her. And she tried to tell her. But I don't feel like Aaliyah listened. So, see? She seen this woman as a teacher. I know what I'm talking about. She seen this woman as a teacher. I had a feeling that this woman, she was around her. And she seen her as like having skill and wisdom and knowledge. But I feel like with this Knight of Swords, she tried to like force it on her. You know, if it was the Queen of Swords, it would be different. But with the Knight of Swords, it's kind of immature. Not as immature as the Page of Swords, but it's like she tried to force information on Aaliyah. And Aaliyah wasn't having it. Like, no. And she forced the information on her so she could protect herself. You know? But Aaliyah wouldn't listen. So I feel like, you know, these were three people who had something or knew or something. So we have a fire sign, we have two earth signs. So these are people that I felt like were well in the business. Well in the business. The Queen of Wands, I don't feel like she was just in it. She knew, and she was just jealous, and she knew of somebody she knew the person who was planning it or knew more about Aaliyah's death or knew more about the shadiness behind the scenes, and she just didn't do nothing about it because she was like, hey, you go ahead and get rid of her. I'm going to be, you know, like, I'm jealous of her anyway, kind of thing. There was somebody that was jealous. I mean, really jealous. And I'm sorry, like, but I mean, these are the people that I feel like were involved in people that knew. And that doesn't necessarily have to be their sign, but that doesn't necessarily have to be their sign, but that doesn't, like I said, doesn't necessarily have to be their sign, but it could be something that's in their chart. So that's my synopsis. Sorry. I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of readings when I got home today. But that's what I feel. You know, I just feel like there were women, and I feel like it took men to pull it off because they had more money and they were more powerful. But there were women who knew as well. And it's just a sad situation. It really is. And I'm glad it's coming back up because I do feel like it needs to be investigated over again because there are so many pieces of this puzzle that are missing. That people are not saying, that people are trying, because they really tried to protect her image. And if they bring out any of these things, it's going to tarnish her image. It's going to have the people that were around her that's still alive till this day look bad. And they're not trying to have them problems because they were able to keep it under wraps for so many years. But I hope that it comes out. I hope that whoever had anything to do with her passing gets found out because it's really horrible. And I feel like with Aaliyah's spirit, like I said in the other video, that she really liked everybody. Like, she was kind of like a puppet, or she felt like a puppet at times. Because in the beginning of her career, it was so many people that thought, just thought for her. Literally was her brain and telling her what to do, where to go, how to do this. And I think with when the R. Kelly situation came in, she was able to break away from that a little bit. But then it was almost like so much money was involved. She was making people so much money that it was just like everybody wanted a piece of the pie, you know? So, you know, we didn't have Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff back then. So, you know, now, you know, I mean, that's why they started sliding pills and putting stuff in people's drinks and injecting people with stuff, trying to say they sick, because people can't go down in a plane crash no more. And if you watch something called The Truth Show, I watched that. She talks about a lot of different conspiracy theories, and she also puts her own put a lot of facts in her videos. You could look at some of those videos too. She has very great insight, and I watch a lot of her videos. But I don't know what to say. Like, even when I was reading, I was hoping to find out other things, not what I was reading. So, you know, rest in peace, baby girl. And it's just unfortunate.